All things come to an end, including 9-game point streak.
We were looking forward to doing a playoff preview show this week.
We really were. We were ready. We were
done the
bought in.
matchups.
We were bought in.
We were in.
We were on the train.
At 10 straight games, we were going to start looking at the matchups between the Vegas Golden Knights or the Colorado Avalanche. We're no longer doing that.
We are not. This game was, to put it lightly, a bit of a shit show, if I might just summarize it. What do you think? Do you agree?
Yeah, I do. Somebody just said that the Hawks thing went to OT, but I didn't think it went to OT. I thought they actually won the game, but
it says 4-3 final on NHL, unless they overturned a goal that we're missing right now by being live.
The first period, they got outshot, and I'm not making this up. They got shot 18-3.
Well, in the second period, they only got outshot 20-6.
So when we're saying this was a shit show, this was a team, they get blown out tonight. But Veggie held him in early, and then I'll say this. There are some of this that he'd like to have back. And what did he have? How many? He faced 52 shots tonight.
Holy moly.
And you'd still like to see him get a couple of those back?
One sigh in.
This team, the Calgary Flames, are a team fighting to make the playoffs, and they played like it tonight. And I've watched this team play a little bit this week. They haven't been playing like a team that's been fighting to get into the playoffs. The one thing they do better than the Arizona Coyotes is they get pucks to the net. There's no doubt their game plan. Once they're over the blue line, that puck is going to the net, period. They're throwing everything at the net. And it pays off. And again, even tonight, when you look at the scoreboard, you look at the Coyotes getting 2, 3, 4 shots on goal, there are still moments in this game where they're not delivering pucks to the net. And they're looking for one more pass or one more play. That's not the difference of the game today. Calgary was a better team today. They attacked harder. They skated harder. They were flying tonight. That's the best team, the best this team has looked in a while. And the Coyotes honestly didn't have any gas tonight. Sometimes the Coyotes, they get tired too. And tonight, I thought they played tired.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we should look at the numbers in this one just to start us off. We've already obviously touched on the shots, but just an absolutely lopsided performance as far as shots on goal. 51-14. 14 is the lowest shot total from the Coyotes this season. Previous low was December 9th versus the Boston Bruins with 16 shots on goal. And this, I forget the exact number, but they said it right at the end on the Bally broadcast. This is the biggest shot differential, I think, since 1997, something crazy like that. The big one here, though, besides the shots, is Calgary was 3 for 5 on the power play. You just cannot allow that to happen. Coyotes power play stayed hot, 1 for 2, but everything else that they allowed, you just simply can't. And honestly, yes, Veggie probably should have had a couple of those back, but when you're facing 51 shots, I don't know, it just wasn't the Coyotes' best performance of all time.
I'll step back on that because he made some unbelievable saves. He held this team in it. The first period is 1-0. After the onslaught of shots he faced, he was good. You just talk about this team to win. The goalies on this team can't be good. They have to be phenomenal. And we've seen some great performances lately by Ingram, and Vejmelka was great for the majority of this game. It's just I know he would like to few of those back. The one that went underneath his arm, we watched 3 times. We couldn't figure out where it went in.
Where the heck? What a weird angle.
He must have lost sight of it. But the penalty killing on this team, to start off this 9-game streak, they were getting through games without giving up any goals while shorthanded. And that now you look in the last 4 games, that's 5 goals now in 5 games. And it's something they'll have to address. One, this team takes too many penalties. And again, it's penalties that hurt them. I don't know. What is that? 13 too many men on the ices now?
I don't know.
The league leading too many men on the ice penalty. Again,
and the Flames scored.
And they score on that one. Yeah. Those self-induced ones really, really, really hurt. The power play on the bright side, they scored again. And the Schmaltz, a great power play goal. And what is that for them? On the power play, they've scored, well, I guess it's 3 and 5 now. But if that power play is a bright spot today. I guess I'll take that as one of the few things I can say is good today. There are a couple things. We'll give some flowers out in a little bit.
There are a couple good things. I feel like we just have to get all the bad things out of the way first.
It was just they played a team that's trying to make the playoffs, and they played like it. That's it. Yeah. And Arizona came into this winning or getting points in 9 straight. At the time, was the longest point streak in the National Hockey League because the Rangers lose to Winnipeg. Now the longest streak is the Arizona Coyotes, a team that I said last fall would be the worst team in hockey. So everything's fine here in Coyote land. Like, this is fine. It's okay to lose a game, and they actually made this close. Especially on a night that
Chicago won.
They made it close. Not only make this game close, they were ahead 3-1. They had 9 shots on goal.
When they were up 3-1, like literally, you and Sean and I were like, this is just freaking classic Coyotes. It just is. Even when the game was 3-3 and you saw the shots on goal were like 36-9. It's like just freaking classic. Anybody who watches this team regularly knows that this is freaking classic. It's so bizarre.
And it happened so fast. It went from 1-1 because they got the Arizona power play goal early in the second. And then all of a sudden 2-1, 3-1. And you go, what is good? This is Coyotes. You got the goalie keeps them in it for the first period on a game they have no business being in, which we've seen I don't know how many times. And then they get the power play goal or the Keller goal that he doesn't touch and or shoot, and it ends up in the net.
Yeah, so shout out Tanev for that one.
Yeah, thank you, Tanev, for that one. And then, can we start giving flowers? Or should we wait?
I mean, whatever.
Wait. And then that's that third goal, and all of a sudden they're ahead, and it's just they just couldn't stop the onslaught of Calgary. They just couldn't slow it down.
And it was happening fast because they scored on that too many men on the ice power play. Then they scored a minute too later. Then you go to the third. They scored on the power play again. They scored again 25 seconds later. Yeah. Like, you can't even collect yourself. Yeah. And like, we can't forget that at the beginning of the first period, Karel Vejmelka kind of got run into, not super hard. He clearly was in some sort of pain. The trainer came out. We questioned whether he would continue the game. Obviously, he felt fine enough to keep playing, but whether or not something hurt, just that situation, it kind of rattles you, and you kind of felt that the rest of the game. And I think this was just one where the team, I don't know, like
it's one of those that you're gonna have to erase because there's too many mistakes. We talked about right from the first goal. When you see the first goal go in, if you see the highlights of the Lucic goal, there are when you kids play youth hockey, you say you could throw a blanket over them because they're all so tight together. The Coyotes were doing that. The puck was in the corner, and there were 5 Coyotes within 3 feet of the puck. If your team is defending and you have 5 people within 5 feet of the puck, that means, guess what? Someone else is open. And unfortunately, that's what happened on this. And not only did they end up with open ice behind them, they allowed the Calgary Flames to beat them out of the corner, and Lucic ends up with the first goal of the game. And I thought there were turnovers for the Coyotes tonight. I thought they didn't defend as well as they have of late, and I just don't think they showed that team speed that we've become accustomed to in this team, where they just continue to come at you and they just don't seem to quit, and they're just on every line just coming at you. We saw the first line, the first shift of the game. Again, it's Maccelli, Bjugstad, and Krause start the game.
Bjugstad is always a scoring threat in the first
minute.
It's insane.
And it happened again tonight. Yeah. They get the puck down. Maybe it wasn't a great scoring chance, but they get the puck in the offensive zone and they make a strike at the net, and you go, here they go again. Teams weren't ready to play in the Mullett, and then it just went downhill from there.
Yeah, absolutely. One other piece of bad news, and then we'll get to
more bad news?
Yeah, and then we'll get to some positives. Well, maybe 2 more pieces. Josh Brown left the game with an upper body injury, did not return. Hopefully, I doubt he'll have an update, but we'll ask Craig when he comes on. Hopefully it's nothing too serious. But just sticking to what I believe will be negative, I do want to just bring up your keys because usually when you get blown out like this, they probably didn't do so great on the keys. So let's go over your keys.
Let's go over the keys. Points in 9 straight, keys shaking. That's just in general, just keep the foot on the gas. They didn't do that. Protect the house, crashing the net. When you see a goalie get run over and hurt, that's what we call crashing the net. That first goal, they had 2 guys inside the blue paint. So, do not do that. Stop bagging shots from everywhere. We saw that one go between the defenseman's leg under the arms of the goaltender. You gave up 52, so you're 0 for 3 on the keys. And when you do that, you lose. And the 4th key we put in the retweet, quote tweet, whatever, was keep Toffoli off the score sheet, and they didn't do that either. So if you don't get the keys, and we are starting to find 1.5 keys can get you to overtime.
Yes, it is
true.
crazy.
2 keys and better gets you a win.
It's
you
math.
get no keys, it's gonna
it's science and math.
There you go. We're good at that.
Okay.
Math. Throwing a little math at you.
Well, let's transition.
How about the keys? Nicholas.
What?
Nicholas said the keys were mentioned in Valley.
Shout out Todd Walsh for shouting out your keys.
So we'll shout out Todd Walsh for shouting out us and actually literally saying the keys.
Yeah.
That they just tweeted out the keys to the game.
Yeah. It was awesome.
Huh.
Yep. I like Joel's interpretation. Petey's keys to ignore for the tank.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, if that was the goal, then ding, ding, ding.
Exactly.
Ding.
Yeah, started sending them to Calgary ahead of time. Their opponents.
I like that. I like that attitude as we transition to maybe some happier things. One more thing. Aiden commented, because our friend Aiden is in town for his first time at Mullett. Maccelli scores, Keller and Schmaltz good points. We lose in regulation. Terrific night for the tank, and was 1 row behind the net tonight. Mullett is absolutely amazing.
Get out of here.
Love
1 row
it.
behind the
Aiden,
net.
I'm so glad you're getting the full Arizona experience. Aiden was at 4 Peaks this week at the Mullett tonight. And had a great tank night. Honestly,
it is a great tank night.
And at least it wasn't like 6-0.
No. They were 3-1.
It was an interesting game.
It's
like,
3-3.
I was never bored.
3-3 after 2. That's fun. What do you want?
So let's give out our flowers. And we'll start with Nick, a.k.a. Jordan Schmaltz. If you know, you know. What a shot.
Jordan Schmaltz.
What a pass by Clayton Keller, by the way, to set up that one. I think at this point, just like Schmaltz from Keller or Keller from Schmaltz, book it every time.
And that's one of the things I'm going to segue a little bit into what people are talking about at the trade deadline, and they bring up Nick Schmaltz's name. These guys are still in their mid-20s. Like, this team is on the verge of the rebuild, and eventually they're going to get through it. And these guys are going to be in their late 20s, and they have this chemistry, and they can provide offense, and they can help guys that are coming up and developing guys. I don't think there's any need. We need to break up 8 and 9 right now. And Barrett Hayton, it's funny, he doesn't seem to partake in the score sheet as often, but he does help create these goals by driving the net, being around the blue paint, digging the puck out of the corners. He's doing a lot of things right. So right now, this line looks really good together.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can just depend on them staying hot. That was Schmaltz's 16th of the season. And then Clayton Keller managed to find himself with a goal.
What a great goal.
He didn't actually shoot it in the net,
but
he was the last to touch it.
Yeah, I still don't know if he touched it. I thought it was but I'm not the scorekeeper. I still think it was a Gostisbehere goal.
Well, it was a Gostisbehere shot, so it couldn't have happened without him.
I took him anytime score, too, so I really thought it was Gostisbehere.
Hey, it's not too late. Maybe
but you know what?
Back.
The one thing I will say about Keller and that goal is one of the complaints, or one of the things I bring up about his game often, is his inability to get to the net. More of a perimeter player. He was standing net front, getting in front of the goalie's eyes, doing exactly what he's supposed to do. And it's a place you don't see him go very often. So let's give him the goal for going there. I'm all for it.
Yeah, absolutely. It wouldn't have happened without that. And then Matias Maccelli.
Wow.
Hey, Tucson Roadrunners head coach Steve Potvin came into our studio on Monday and sat down and said, Matias Maccelli is an underrated shooter. And what does he do tonight but shoot an unbelievable shot for his 4th goal of the season? And it wasn't just that. He was all over it tonight. He had, I think, 2 other legit chances for a game that only had 14 Coyote shots. I don't know if all of Maccelli's chances registered, but he was storming the net. He was right in there. I don't know if he listened. He's been listening to us tell him to shoot. I don't know if everybody in our Discord and in our YouTube chat have been yelling the shoot end of Mullett. But he was on it tonight.
Yeah, he had 6 shot attempts. And it's funny, again, I keep saying go back and look at the film because we can't show highlights just because it's the way things work. As he's coming down on the shot that he scores on, watch him. He wants to pass so bad. Like, it's just innate to him that he wants to pass. He wants to be the playmaker, and he wants to defer to somebody else. And when he finally decided he couldn't get it through that defenseman and he couldn't make the pass over to Lawson Krause, he goes, okay, I might as well shoot. And lo and behold, the kid's got a pretty good shot. Like, that was great, just above the pad.
A beautiful shot.
Great shot.
That was a beautiful goal, unlike Keller's non-actual goal. Yeah. Like, Maccelli's goal was a nice NHL goal. So
Matias McCalder, and CWP called it. McCalder, look out. A few more goals, and he's 14 games less than everybody else. He's going to be in the conversation.
Leading rookies in assists.
Yes. And he had a no-look pass from behind the goal line. It doesn't go in, so he doesn't get an assist, but his ability to make plays through people, and I know he didn't on the 2-on-1, but his ability to do that on the power play and 5-on-5, that no look, threading through needles and putting it on the tape, the kid's special. And we keep talking about the future and get excited about the future. Matias Maccelli, Dylan Gunther, Logan Cooley, Connor Geekie, and we'll see when, Maverick Lamoureux is ready to play. JJ Moser's a kid. Like, there are so many young players.
Yusuf Valimaki.
Matt Valimaki's young.
He had an assist tonight.
Yeah, we
talked about his increase in minutes the other night.
What did he play tonight? Like, he's really elevated.
The Coyotes got him for free.
For nothing.
They picked him up off of waivers, and this was his game against his former team tonight, the Calgary Flames. So just the future is bright. The future really is bright. And I appreciate. Joel said Maccelli is our rookie of the year. No matter what happens, I think if we have to look at it, it's
for
true.
sure.
So Matias.
Oh yeah, we'll see how Ingy finishes though. We'll see.
Ooh,
we'll see.
Oh, Kenny said I have the future bet on him winning the Calder.
It's awesome.
Why not? Couple bucks.
And we are, speaking of Ingy, we're going to see him on Sunday.
Yeah.
Because they've already decided the starting goalie, so we don't have to argue about that. So.
Yep.
We know.
And Nick said, been a fan of his since watching him here in Tucson. Bumped into him a few times. Even Maccelli is bound for greatness. And you know what? It's interesting you say that, Nick, because just today I was looking through my old Tucson Roadrunners pictures from when I was an intern there in 2017. Because I was looking at Dysin Mayo pictures. Farewell, Dysin. We'll talk more about that trade when Craig gets here, so stay tuned. But I was looking through all my photos. You know who was on that team? Lawson Krause.
Heard of him.
Michael Bunting. Connor Garland. like Dysin Mayo, obviously. Aiden Hill.
Wow.
So many NHL players on that team.
Wow.
So it's
Leah
cool.
Merrill. She found her way.
Hey, I got my call up to the big leagues,
Found her way.
guess. So listen, a lot of guys start in Tucson, and Matias was the next guy. He was the next guy, and I don't think he's gonna play in Tucson.
And you want to find out who the next Maccelli is?
Yeah.
Then we did a show, and I'm gonna pump one of our old shows. This is a shameless plug. We interviewed Steve Potvin earlier in the week. If you didn't see that show from earlier in the week with Roadrunner head coach Steve Potvin, that's all we talked about. Is what's going on down there, who's next, who's going to get called up, what does the future look like there. So if you haven't and you want to see who the next Maccelli is, go listen.
Absolutely. And while we're talking about him, we should go ahead and just crown him tonight's DraftKings King of the Game. I love it. Oh my gosh, Sean always surprises us with what he writes. He wrote Matias Maccelli, but in an Italian accent. So let me read that again. Matias Maccelli. 1 goal, and someone in the Discord made a great point for him. He deserves king for actually wanting to score a goal tonight.
Yeah, for shooting the puck.
I love it. We were trying to put together the all-Italian sounding line.
Yes.
Maccelli, Mangiapane.
Mangiapane, I like that too.
Our third one?
Jack McBain. I forget who Karel Vejmelka.
Yeah, you still went for that third one. But he did lead all Coyotes in shot attempts tonight. For a guy that never shoots the puck.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. So Matias Maccelli, tonight's DraftKings King of the Game. Like Kenny said, put a couple of bucks on him for Calder. You can do that. Put money on a future. Lots of stuff on DraftKings. You could have won yourself some money tonight. I think Toffoli over in shots. Veggie over in saves easily. My DraftKings pick of the week did not hit, so I hope you just went the opposite of me. Listen, I'm not the one who normally gives out the picks, but that's okay because there's plenty of ways to bounce back and win yourself some money on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. You had a lot of bets out tonight. You did pretty well.
You know, I'm riding, and we talked about it briefly. I'm riding this Chicago Blackhawk train right now.
They're hot.
Buddy. And you hit their money line a couple nights in a row when they're +2 something.
They're hot.
They are.
Love it.
Right
I know.
now.
You really could win yourself some money on some of these.
I had Karel Vejmelka saves. I might have had Nick Schmaltz shots.
Yeah. Lots of stuff on DraftKings. Yep. So if you want to win yourself some money, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use the code PHNX. New customers can bet $5 and get $200 in free bets instantly. That's only a DraftKings Sportsbook with code PHNX. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. Petey, are you going to drink on the show with the Ray Whitney tomorrow?
I will have a beer tomorrow. I absolutely will be drinking.
Wow, because it's daytime?
Without a doubt, it'll be wow.
Yeah, it's a good daytime beer.
But if you haven't had wow, it's got that little orange citrusy
as we decided
Mild.
with Coach Poppin the other day,
It's a daytime.
It's like orange juice.
It's like orange juice. It's fair. And it's an 11 o'clock show with Ray Whitney Plus. Yeah, I'm going to need a beer for that one tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you want to try Four Peaks beer, you can buy it wherever you buy beer. I think someone in the Discord said yesterday that it was on sale at Sprouts, like all the Four Peaks.
There you go.
Sprouts, Target, Walmart, like everywhere you can buy beer. It's there. And fun thing coming up at the A Street Pub, Speed and Adrenaline is your speed. I'm talking to you, the street racers on my street. That's like for 2 more nights.
When is this? It's like soon.
Yes. The Beer Can Derby is on February 25th at Four Peaks A Street Pub in Tempe. Kit pickups are open now, so if you want to show us you've got the fastest beer can in the valley, sign up through fourpeaks.com/events. You must be 21 or older.
Yep, you get the kit, you put some wheels and axle on a beer can. That sounds fun. It does sound fun.
It does sound
racing
like
beer.
A lot of fun.
Yep.
And while we just mentioned it, I think we should plug it one more time. Ray Whitney is coming into our studio tomorrow.
The wizard.
What a
wizard.
What a week for guests. Sorry about the typo. We forgot to put in the updated one, but that's okay. Ray Whitney, Thursday, 11 a.m. in studio. I've heard he's a very good storyteller. One of our earliest ever guests on PHNX Coyotes.
Yeah, but it was a little more serious when we had him on last time. We were talking a lot of rules, NHL rules stuff, and I have a feeling once we get him in this setting, it will be a little different. Yeah,
absolutely. So really looking forward to talking to Ray Whitney. That's tomorrow, Thursday, 11 a.m. on the PHNX Sports U channel. Hit the reminder, hit the bell, so you never miss when we go live. But if you can't watch live, you can always watch later or listen on audio wherever you get your podcasts.
Because we might be asking him for a Tales from the Road.
Yeah, you can bet there's going to be a Tales from the Road in that one. And I feel like it's going to be good.
I
really
would
feel
hope
like
so.
It's going to be good. PD, do you have any other thoughts from this game?
I wish there were a lot more flowers to give.
We kind of ran through them.
Yeah. The bright spot for me is, as dumb as this sound, is the streak is over, because it does they can get back to playing again. It starts to get into your head. Like this team doesn't need to be on a 9-game point streak right now. Now they just need to go play. Tonight they didn't have it. They weren't fast enough. They weren't quick enough on pucks. They didn't win battles. It just was not a good game for the Coyotes. Now they get a chance to redeem themselves. They get a few days off, and this team always seems to play better with a little bit of rest. They don't play again until Sunday.
I know. And they're home for a little bit of stretch
so
here.
I know they're going to take the day off. I believe tomorrow's the day off. They're going to practice then on Friday. This team deserves it, and they need a little bit of rest. So I would expect a much better outing against Nashville on Sunday. I would expect to see them get their feet back underneath them. They beat Nashville the last time out. It's a better matchup for them. Calgary's a little bit heavier, a little bit harder on the forecheck. It's a tough team to play, and they're a team that was really hungry. Nashville needs the points too, but I like the Coyotes' chances, and I think they're a team that rebounds well. So
yeah, very true. And with Chicago's win tonight, they now have 45 points. Arizona's 49. So it's only a 4-point difference. This gap can be closed pretty quickly. And if you look, Anaheim and Columbus are both at the bottom with 41. But we've seen larger than 8-point gaps close this season. They're at one point, the Coyotes were 11 points ahead of Chicago. Now they're just within 4. So
and that's after going on a 9-game point streak.
Yeah, and I have to say, it's crazy just to think about that 9-game point streak, and they're still in this position. And I feel like this game tonight kind of like brought us all back to earth and back to reality. So
I'm pretty sure Chicago also plays 3 tank teams for the next 3 games.
Hell yeah.
So that means somebody's got to win.
Ducks, Sharks, and then Yotes. So.
All right. Well, we'll talk more about that.
Well, that's where those head-to-head games against these tank teams are so important. Like those, they play Chicago coming up soon.
Coyotes are bad against those teams in a good way.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's bring in Craig to talk
He's here?
about. Yeah, he's here
Already.
He didn't give me the warning, but that's okay.
I know. I was waiting for the buzz on my text.
Craig, what's up?
How you guys doing? Who do you make the king tonight?
So we did think about making it Max Domi, but we actually went with Matias Maccelli because he scored a goal tonight, and we were very excited.
Led the Yotes in shot attempts.
Yeah, I also took the critical penalty that turned.
That's okay. Was it critical, Craig?
Was it okay though?
It's okay.
Critical to the tank is what I meant to say.
There you go, Craig. The Blackhawks are on a 4-game winning streak, buddy. 4-game winning streak.
I love it. Keep it up. 4 points now, right? 4-point
Yeah.
deficit there. They could at least get to third. Tank's back alive.
Yep,
It's
Tank's
alive.
back alive.
It's back.
See? Look how happy Craig is again.
I know. It's
Positive
amazing.
Craig. Having
amazing.
a party. I don't know if you heard about that.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah. It's about a month
If
away.
you know, you know.
If you know, you know. Craig.
It's canceled. The party's canceled. By
After all
Debbie
this.
said she's not cooking, so I have no idea. Unless you guys want like toast. I can make you
Fine.
toast.
Actually,
That's
probably
perfect
for
perfect
me.
for
I can make
me.
you grilled cheese. Yeah.
Oh
Anyway.
boy. All right.
right.
Well, Craig, we have a lot to talk to you about tonight, but before we do, I'll just give you your chance to either give your 2 cents or any takeaways from post-game interviews tonight.
Well, I guess the takeaways. This team just had a 9-game point streak, and coming out of this game tonight, I mean, Andre was mad tonight. He was really mad, and I was actually surprised at how upset he was. And I don't think he felt like they had much of an effort the entire night. Veg kept him in the first period. Veg did not keep them in the next 2 periods, but they got outplayed by Calgary. They got out hustled, out physical every stage of this game. It was just, it was close. I think because they had a spark in the second period and Veg kept him in early, but he really wasn't happy with them. And it was a little surprising because a 9-game point streak for this roster, I mean, putting it in perspective, that was a nice little feather in their cap.
Yeah.
I thought.
And even to be up 3-1 at that point, like, I think that's more than any of us expected. So
Yeah.
for them to collapse, it wasn't too big of a shock when you're getting outshot 51-14.
But you never know with this team because after the first period, when the shots were 20-3 or 18-3, whatever they were, and you go, oh my goodness, they don't have their legs today. This is going to be one of those games. But when you say that, you could say that a year ago and it would be true. But this year, they find their legs sometimes, and then they get better, and then they keep playing, and then the buzzer, all of a sudden you turn around and they're winning.
Yeah.
So you just don't know. It's a much different atmosphere this year compared to last year, and this team doesn't quit. They just don't. Even tonight, the shots were lopsided, but the score was tied at one point in this game, and they still had a chance.
Tied at the end of the second. They
to make
they
this
went
game
into
close.
the third period.
So they were outplayed by a better team. Period.
Yeah.
Yeah. Craig, is Veggie fine? Like, did you ask about that?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly felt like when I was watching that was a little dramatization. Yeah, he's fine.
Okay. And I'm guessing there is no update, but any update on Josh Brown?
No, nothing at this point, but I actually won't find out tomorrow, but we'll find out soon.
We'll find out soon. Yeah, I'm sure. Okay. Well, a couple other things we want to get to. The first being the thing we can't seem to not talk about for more than 24 hours. Jakob Chychrun, he was back on the ice for practice yesterday for the first time since playing I think it was February 11th versus the Blackhawks a while ago, over 10 days ago. Finally back on the ice for practice, but once again scratched today. I know you're going to have a story on this. I'm really excited to read it, but are there any nuggets you can give us of what the heck is going on?
Yeah, and I apologize. I told people in Diehards that I was going to try and get it written tonight, and that didn't happen. So you'll have to wait for it in the morning. But I did get a chance to talk to Bill Armstrong, and we spoke for a while about Jakob Chychrun. And one of the things that I will tell you right off the bat is don't expect to see him play before the deadline. They're going to hold him out until the trade deadline. There is still a robust market for him. There are a lot of challenges. I'll talk about that in the story tomorrow, some of the challenges with making this trade. And I mean, you can guess some of them with the finances of the league, but there are some others that were a little bit of a revelation as well. The other thing that I would say, because I know this narrative has been out there quite a bit, a lot of people speculating about it, as they will do on social media. Jakob Chychrun is healthy. There is nothing wrong with Jakob Chychrun. So put that out of your head. He's fully healthy and ready to go.
Well, and I'm glad you cleared that up because I'll be completely honest. I've come on here and said if I'm a team, I want to see him play because he plays 30 minutes and then he hasn't played again. So that clearing up the injury thing, that's great. And I also said I wouldn't be surprised to see him play before the trade deadline, and he's not going to. So not the first time, but I am wrong again.
Yeah.
But Craig didn't say he wouldn't play again for the Arizona Coyotes. He just said he won't play before the trade deadline because there's the chance he doesn't get traded. Then he would go right back in the lineup.
Yeah, and I'll discuss all of that in the story because, you're right, Petey. And there's more meat to that as well.
Yeah, looking forward to reading that one. There's just 2 more games before 3 more games before the trade deadline. Yeah, so the Coyotes have fared fine without him so far. And he's getting rest to either come back in the lineup or give another team a boost. But speaking of the trade market, there was a deal that went down today. The Coyotes traded Dysin Mayo, longtime Tucson Roadrunner, longtime part of this organization, Dysin Mayo, to the Vegas Golden Knights. In return, the Coyotes received a 2023 fifth-round pick and Shea Weber's contract, adding to the list of NHL legends who are under contract with this team but will never, ever play a game. We'll talk about that in a second. But first of all, what does this move mean? What is the reason behind this move? I think a lot of people were maybe caught a little bit off guard. It wasn't a major move, but what does it all mean?
Yeah, it's funny. A lot of people were thinking, well, we just did Vegas a big favor. Why didn't we ask for more than a fifth-round pick? They did. They got a lot more than a fifth-round pick. First of all, when you look at the salaries, when you look at what they're actually going to have to pay Shea Weber when it's all said and done because of insurance and him being on LTIR, it's actually slightly less than what Dysin Mayo was going to make. So you've actually shed a little bit of salary. And I know Cap Friendly put out a correction of its earlier tweet. I think even the correction is a little bit off, but the Coyotes are going to save some money here. So basically, you look at the dollar thing, and they've saved a tiny bit of money. They got an asset in a fifth-round pick, but the biggest thing that the Coyotes got here was they got the assurance that they're going to reach the cap floor both at the trade deadline and over the next 3 seasons when Shea Weber is still under contract. You don't have to worry about that when you're in a situation where you're going to be a team that's pretty close to the cap floor. Now you've got a contract that's going to put you over, and it's not going to cost you actual dollars, which is something that's a very real concern for a franchise that's playing at Mullett Arena and is losing revenue left and right. The last thing that I would say, and I don't think people have thought about this at all, when you're in this situation where you need to reach the cap floor and other teams know it at the trade deadline, they can use that as leverage against you. Well, you need to take this player back because you need to get to the cap floor, and we know it. Now they don't have that leverage over the Coyotes because the Coyotes know they're going to be at the cap floor with this contract.
Yeah, it's interesting. And when you put all the numbers together and find out they actually got paid or end up financially benefiting and getting a draft pick out of it, you lose Dysin Mayo. And Dysin Mayo is a guy he's a kid that got an opportunity last year to play a lot of games. Last season, he played 67 games last year, became a regular on their blue line last year, and he played pretty well for him. And he's a kid that's put his time in at Tucson, and I know that you think about the same, Craig, about what he's done here for this franchise.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, a career leader in games played, right? He's an original Roadrunner. He was there. He's the only runner to play in all 7 seasons of the franchise, which is a cool feather in his cap. And he did. He played a lot of minutes last year for this Coyotes team. They liked some of what he gave him. I mean, truth be told, his underlying numbers were not good at all. And the hard truth with Dysin Mayo is he didn't have a future with this franchise. He wasn't going to be a part of this team. So they gave up an asset that really wasn't an asset to them, and they got something for it. Hopefully Dysin Mayo can get a chance, whether it's Henderson or, as we know in the playoffs, you can suffer some injuries. He might be He might be a guy who can step in and give you depth minutes in the playoffs if you need it to. But, it's a fresh start for him. Again, I don't think he was really a part of their plans for the future. So best of luck to Dysin Mayo, because it's a cool thing, right? To be a guy that's been there for all 7 seasons. He passed Michael Bunting for most games played in franchise history. Some things that he can take with him for life.
And you brought up something, Craig. For a Vegas team that's going to be a playoff team this year where the Coyotes are not, and you go, well, how can he go there and play? Well, you look at Vegas, and Dysin's Mayo role, he's going to be a depth defenseman. And Craig said it. The National Hockey League playoffs through 2 months is an absolute war, and people get hurt. Yeah. They're bringing in a kid that's played games in the National Hockey League. He's a right-hand shot, which are valuable in this league. Wouldn't surprise me if he does get to play a game or two in the Stanley Cup. Wouldn't surprise me at all, because he's an experienced guy, a depth guy. I mean, never say never. So I think it's a good move for everybody. I really do. And his future here was limited now. And so I think it's a good move for him. It's a good for the Coyotes, and Vegas loses the contract. Rarely can you say this, but this is a win-win-win-win.
Yeah, and just shout out Dysin Mayo. I think Coyotes fans, he's just been a name that Coyotes fans have known for so many years. Like you said, there from the start of Tucson, there when I was there 6 years ago. Like just crazy, absolutely crazy to think about. And it's, in this, being a hockey player, it's very rare you get that level of consistency, especially in the American Hockey League. So Dysin Mayo, you'll always be a Tucson Roadrunner. You'll always be part of the Coyotes fan base. So shout out Dysin Mayo. We appreciate you.
I'm sure he's listening as he's packing.
Dysin, as you leave, in comes Shea Weber. And no,
legend.
He will not be suiting up for the Coyotes, unfortunately. But this does bring up the strangest thing, the list of NHL greats who have now been paid by the Coyotes, I guess you can say, who have never, ever worn a Kachina. And Sean has put together this unbelievable graphic of all of their numbers hanging in the rafters. You got Marian Hossa, Pavel Datsyuk, Brian Little, Chris Pronger, and now you can add Shea Weber to the list, and that's not even including Dave Boland. It's not even including, I guess you can count Wayne Gretzky in that. He was, on the Coyotes payroll, but not in a Kachina. What is this?
It is so. I tell you what, for people that have followed this franchise for a very long time, been fans of it, or inside the locker room, this almost hurts to look at that. Because these players, not only did you play against these players hurt your team badly through the years. I mean, Datsyuk in Detroit put him out of the playoffs. Like Pronger, year after year in Anaheim and St. Louis. So to see them end their career in Arizona is it's almost like just a little needle to Coyotes fans. Oh, by the way, they retired with you. They never played. Oh, it's painful. Because if they played here in their heyday, we might be hanging a different banner here. Can you imagine having Pronger and Weber on the team at the same time?
That would be like the biggest, toughest back end.
Are you kidding me?
Unreal. It's unreal.
Sorry.
I'm just
crazy.
happy they added a defensive pair for Chris Pronger because I've been waiting for that guy.
And when's the goalie coming?
We need a goalie.
Yeah, I need a goalie badly. Yeah.
When's he coming?
Carey Price.
It's Carey Price. We all know it's the one.
I'm pretty sure the Sabres have Ben Bishop's contract we can send you.
Yep.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The trick.
Well, there you go.
Okay, there's another option.
Ben Bishop's contract's still out there. We can maybe go for that one.
And then we'll start filling out the lines and pairs after
that.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. I don't know this because I don't know what other teams' situations are, but there cannot be any team that's remotely close to doing what this franchise has done.
Nope.
Right?
Nope.
Like those are big. Those are Hall of Famers. Like those are some big names up there.
Somebody mentioned to me, and I need a ruling from the panel here from all three of you on Blake Wheeler, the guy that they drafted, but he never played for the Coyotes. But of course, they didn't pay him, so
yeah.
I did bring his name up this afternoon.
His name came. I'm gonna have to say no, but okay. That's my.
We'll
ruling.
Keep working on this. Maybe by the time you and I die, Petey.
Once again, I'll wheel you both in.
Yeah.
But I have to say, and I tweeted this earlier, like we need a Coyotes alumni game, and the criteria has to be super loose, as in, we need all of these guys.
Yes.
I need it. It's just
God,
so
can
funny.
you imagine?
It's so funny.
Brett
it's
Hall
amazing.
Too.
When you talk to hockey fans, Craig, not just the names you just mentioned because they become kind of a butt of a joke, but when you talk about how many people have had their cup of coffee for the Coyotes that people don't know or remember that played here, Robert Lang, Tony Amonte, Brett Hall, and the list is Peter Nedved. The list is so long. People go, who? They played there?
Insane.
Like there were some really, really, really good hockey players that all swung through Arizona, played their 18 holes, and then they left.
The other thing is, we need these jerseys available.
Yes.
And shout out to My Name is Fat Mike in the Discord for this unbelievable.
My Name is Fat Mike, and they're on sale.
Yep.
Why don't
2 for 1?
Craig brought this up, and he's absolutely right. There should be a corner of the team shop, wherever that may be and what pickup it's located in out in the parking lot. But they should have these jerseys for sale. They have their rights. Like they were under contract. Sell the damn jerseys.
People would buy them 100%.
A Chris Pronger Coyote, sign me up. Let's go.
I would
Pavel
buy
Datsyuk.
a Pavel Datsyuk 1-3 jersey right now.
Datsuk would
Without
be
a
my
doubt.
first one
Could
too.
you imagine like the CHGO guys come down here? We're wearing like Marian Hossa
Yeah,
Coyotes jerseys.
sign me up.
And that's the one I'd be wearing, by the way.
You'd wear Hossa. I'm
100%. That's
Datsuk.
your like one of your favorite players ever.
Big time man crush on Marian Hossa. Yeah, I would.
Well,
buy
we
that.
did have a
Oh,
Hossa.
there's my name is Fat Mike.
There's
Thank
my
you.
name is Fat. Yeah, there's.
And by the way, my name is Fat Mike decided to pop into the Coyotes Discord today because my name is Fat Mike is a Suns fan. He usually
Yes.
hangs out in Suns. Suns is off for the All-Star break.
So he
I'm
was
so
bored.
Welcome to the hockey family. We appreciate you. Thanks
Little-
for
Not only
little
contributing.
did he
different.
jump in, he did work. He did some good work today. So
Yes.
thank
Yeah.
you for that. That was awesome.
Thank you.
We won't hear the language. My name is Fat Mike on our show like you do on the Sun Show. I've heard Saul, and we were not gonna. No, we're a family show. It's most of the time.
That's why they keep me behind the mat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sean drops a few MRFers once in a while. All right.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
boy. All right.
Yeah, how about Nick Fraley? Team Store doesn't even sell Doan's jerseys. How the hell are we going to get him to sell Datsuk jerseys, for Christ's sake?
Oh, boy.
Oy.
Yeah, but
There's
Brown's got a
There's not
statue.
a lot of real estate to be selling
Brown's got a
jerseys.
statue, and Shane Doan, they can't sell his jersey. Something's not right. Sorry.
Ay, ay, ay. All right, Craig. Anything else before we let you go?
No, just got to give a shout out to Calgary Flames GM Brad Treliving, who was in the house tonight. It was great to catch up with him. Petey obviously knows him well. Just a really likable guy. I miss Brad. I call him Uncle Brad. I miss him a lot around here. Just full of humor, full of sarcasm. He's self-deprecating. He's just amazing. Like, I'll give you an example. After the first period, I talked to him. And he's like, "This is our team. This is our team. We can't score. We go up 1-0, but you watch. The Coyotes are going to pop one early in the second period." It's exactly
enough.
what happened.
Yeah.
Of course, they came back and got really well against the Coyotes. He got 5, but he's a good man. He's hilarious. I miss him around here. I don't think people understand just how much Brad did for this franchise behind the scenes working with Don Maloney. He was a key part of that management group.
Yeah, and he learned a lot here, too. One thing about Brad, I've always said this about the National Hockey League. I always wanted to work for good people, and Brad Treliving is good people. Like, he's gracious. He's thankful. He always still took the time to talk to me, even years and years and years after he left here. He's had his up and down in Calgary, and if he would have had the success in other markets, they'd be applauding him. But
Yeah.
it's Canada, and things are a little bit tougher up there. So
Yeah, it's tough when guys don't want to play in your market either. That makes it a little tough on you in the offseason. But before I go, he just wanted me to tell you, Petey, that you've crossed over to the dark side.
Yeah, big surprise there. Yeah, I've got a media credential now. It's true.
That's right.
It's true. I'm not
That's
going back.
So funny. All right, Craig. Well, we'll let you go. We'll see you tomorrow morning for the Ray Whitney show. Can't wait.
Looking forward to that. See you guys
Yeah.
tomorrow.
We might just stay here because it's
Yeah, just go to sleep. in
It's
the
11.
recliners. Yeah. All right, Craig. Get
grief.
home safe.
go
See you
write
guys.
the show notes for tomorrow because I sure as hell ain't gonna do it.
You won't even look at him. Am I right?
No.
Oh.
Boy.
2 minutes before the show, we'll be panicking.
yeah,
what are we
yeah,
talking
like-
about?
It's sad, but it's
The PD
very,
way.
very true.
All right, Craig. Get
All right,
some rest.
See you guys.
All
See you
right,
later, Craig.
Bye.
I was trying to see the Diefenlocks.
Yeah, so we
sticker.
got a $4 super sticker from Shane that says Lemon character offering a gift to baby Lemon.
But I usually look at your computer and I can see it.
Oh, let's
but I
pull it
can't.
up. I can pull it up.
Oh, there it is.
is.
There.
That is
That's
quite
exactly
accurate.
what it is.
Really excited to read Craig's article on
I am too.
the Jakob
On the
Chychrun
chicken thing.
situation. It sounds like he got a lot of really interesting information from Bill Armstrong.
Yeah, and I still want to know. And I'll read the article. I want to know why. Like,
Yeah.
why?
Yeah. And
Where
just
are we here? Why?
the fact there's no injury and he's not playing until
After.
the trade deadline. Those are two very interesting nuggets.
Yeah, I still don't understand it. There's still more, even waiting for the article, there's still more. Because he didn't practice. He was away from the team. Then he practiced on his own, and now he's practicing with the team.
Crazy.
Why?
Crazy.
Maybe we'll find out.
We will find out. And PD, I think you're right. I think we should go to sleep here. I think we just, like,
You know, we could.
I could easily sleep in a recliner. You and I have both been close.
1,000%.
Especially on these late
The
night
more
ones.
furniture, oh, buddy.
Like I was horizontal at one point. And by the way,
Unbelievable.
I have never spent so much time browsing for furniture in my life. Thank God for more
know.
furniture. Like you saw me tonight
Yeah,
during the intermission,
nonstop.
literally like
And
on more
tables,
furniture.
dinner
website.
tables.
And they have such unbelievable stuff. Like I have this note on my computer with links for stuff. I've been spamming like my friends and my mom. What do you think of this?
Didn't ask
So
me.
thank
but probably a good idea.
It's okay. But thank God for more furniture. If you want to check out the best furniture in the Valley, head to morefurniture.com. Save big. You can also get the white glove delivery, which, listen, like, there's too much going on for me this weekend when I move. I just want to know that my furniture will arrive in good condition and be set up for me. No thought about it. So check out More Furniture, 100%. And while I was scrolling more, you were checking your Underdog Fantasy Pick'em, and Petey, it's time you start buying insurance.
I know.
Because you have been
so
close.
The Underdog Fantasy is so easy to do, but then you get those ones that you go, it's just higher or lower. You have two choices, higher or lower. But it sounds so easy, and I get 4 out of 5. And if I buy insurance, I'd be winning.
The ones that you nailed, like out of the park.
Nailed.
Higher veggie saves.
I had Toffoli shots by the end of the first period.
Higher Toffoli shots.
Done. Check.
But this was his mistake. Lower Max Domi points.
I took lower Max Domi
and
points.
He had 2 goals and an assist tonight.
Well, they had back-to-back. They won last night against Vegas, I thought.
It's okay.
Travel.
It's a small price to pay. So keep at it, PD.
Yeah, I know.
You'll get one
insurance.
eventually.
I'll buy insurance.
And the good news is, even if you just do like $5 at a time, if you win one, you win. Like, you're gonna win all your money back. And
easy.
The other good thing is, when you sign up right now with the code PHNX, Underdog's gonna match your first deposit up to $100.
There you go. It's $100
so that if
free.
you do, $100, the first 100, it's
free.
like not even. It's free. So
free.
Let Underdog give you money. Go to underdogfantasy.com or download the app. Sign up with the code PHNX. And like I said, Underdog will match your first deposit up to $100. All right. Let's pull up the upcoming schedule, I think. I think we're at that point. We kind of touched on it already, but it helps to see 3 games till the trade deadline, which is Friday, March 3rd, against the Carolina Hurricanes. Does Jakob Chychrun wear a kachina on that day, or does he not? We will find out.
Wow. You know what though? He won't have practiced. Oh, no, he can practice still.
I guess he's been practicing.
Huh.
Now. Or he did.
He did practice
I'm
one practice.
assuming he will continue.
So maybe he plays against Carolina,
or he plays elsewhere. It's just crazy.
Interesting. So we have to do 2 shows that day.
Yes. Wow. Yeah, it's gonna be a doozy. But what a week. This week, 2 games, chill, fine. Next week, game on Sunday, game on Tuesday, game on Wednesday in a different state, then come back, game on Friday. Welcome back to Coyotes schedule.
This is Coyotes, yeah.
This is
We're
the
back
Coyotes way. So this week,
That's
everyone
tough.
take your collective deep breath and
that big.
Oh my gosh.
That game Tuesday's humongous big, as
Against
Briz
Chicago.
Golub would have said. That's
Humongous big.
Universe, humongous big. Because the Chicago, that's a 4-point game. I hate to say it, Coyotes fans, that's a must lose.
Yep. And they've been doing a good job of losing against the teams they need.
And that Dallas game is going to be hard on a back-to-back with travel. That's really tough. And Carolina right now, if you haven't watched Carolina Hurricanes play, that team is fire. Yeah. That team doesn't give you any room to move. And unless the Mullett magic overwhelms them, and I don't think it will, that is a tough week of hockey next week for the Yotes.
Yep. So that's what we have coming up. And we'll, of course, be live on March 3rd in the day as well.
We got to figure, I don't know when that ends. My research is so horrible. Is it noon? 1 o'clock.
Arizona time.
Okay, 1 o'clock.
So
okay,
lots of interesting stuff.
So we'll have a show about 1 o'clock then.
Yep, depending on,
or maybe earlier,
depending on how things fall.
So Bill, if you're listening, and we know you are, if you're going to trade Jakob, please do it in reasonable hours.
9 to 5.
9 to 5.
Don't pull a Kevin Durant, please.
9 to 5.
Please. Roaring Fork just said 3 a.m.
I know. I saw Roaring Fork, and I wasn't going to put it out into the universe, and you just did. But 9 to 5, Bill.
While we're at it, and it's probably going to be a Wedgwood trade where it's going to happen immediately after we leave the studio for a post game or something like that.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Oh my gosh, that was funny. I remember I think I pulled over and turned around.
Yeah, we did.
That was wild.
Yep. Let's not do that.
All right. Well, last thing, let's pull up the punch card. Sean, you made an observation about this punch card. I would like you to share with the people.
Yeah, this line that we are on currently is mirroring the last line. So last line started loss, win, loss, win. This line started win, loss, which implies that we would win the next game again
against
Nashville, and then losing in Chicago.
Great.
Money.
And then beat Dallas.
Ooh.
On the second game of the back-to-back in a different state.
And beat Carolina.
Super likely. And beat Carolina.
You know what, though? I don't doubt the punch card magic.
Neither do I. I don't doubt
Punch
it.
card
Card
voodoo.
voodoo magic, baby.
Punch card voodoo is real.
I really don't doubt it at all. I really don't. I don't. Oh man. Well, we're in the final stretch. I guess like a week and a half till the trade deadline. Lots of home games coming up. The Coyotes have pretty much played their entire road schedule. So plenty of opportunities for you to check out Mullett Arena. We've seen a lot of people in our chat recently who've gone for the first time. And we always see people in the Discord as well. A lot of people, by the way, if you're in our Discord, who are like selling their seats for the night, really great seats. Well, there aren't any bad ones, but
Right.
some really great ones. But the best place to get your tickets is on the Game Time app because you can save up to 60%, especially when you wait till that last minute to buy your tickets. So check out Game Time. You can also buy your parking passes on there. Just make it a stress-free experience for yourself. It's a very, very easy app to use. As Jesse always says on the D-Back show, he loves the interface. It is very aesthetically pleasing, which is a very Jesse Friedman comment, but I must agree. So check out Game Time. The best way to support us is by buying your tickets through the link below in our description. And also, the Discord was popping tonight. Popping off. There was a whole thing in the beginning of the season where everyone would send tank gifts. Then the Discord collectively decided that was a curse because they would do that and then the Coyotes would storm back and win or go to overtime. So today, Charles had the suggestion, send wagon, but he spelled it WAGON, wagon gifts. But then everyone sent dogs. Gifts of dogs with their tails wagging. So the entire Discord was flooded with dogs. And then it was dogs in wagons. It was unreal. Like
dogs in wagons.
Every game night, I just have the best time in the Discord.
I just can't keep up with the game and the Discord.
I just have the best time. It's so fun. It's just so fun. So if you're a diehard and you're not in the Discord, get in there. Again, we appreciate our new friends in the Discord every night, every day. There's always something to talk about in the Discord. And it's not always hockey, but there's always something going on. And if you're not a diehard, become one. You get a free shirt or hat at sign up. You get 20% off merchandise, 20% off events, and access to the diehard only content on the website as well. So lots of perks to becoming a diehard, including grabbing the new Slim Valley Reaper t-shirt at 20% off or as your free shirt at sign up. So Kevin Durant, he's going to play next week, hopefully. So head on over to phnxlocker.com now. What are you laughing at?
DP's got his finger on the button. He's waiting.
Yeah. Did I ever serve a punish or I don't know if punishment?
No, you never did. You should jump through a table.
I was going to say, blatantly last night said this. If the Yotes get the first overall pick, I will, not only will I jump through it, I'll go buy a Connor Bedard Kachina. I'll put it on and jump through the table.
Yeah. All right.
Count it. Trust.
Perfect.
Clip it.
Love it.
Clip
Someone write down the time code and save this link. Anything else? We should go. It's late. We got to be back early.
We got to be back here.
Ray Whitney, 11 a.m., 12 hours from now.
And there might be an ad read there tomorrow, too.
Ooh, there might be a PD ad read.
Might be a PD ad read. Let's just drop in a little hint.
Just saying.
Or I could pass it off to Leah.
Nope. That's a PD one.
It is written.
It is written and it has been for a while. That's
I wrote it a couple days ago. Yeah. Well, no, it's been brewing
for that one.
No, and if you're listening, please don't let your kids listen to this episode.
We'll give a warning before.
We'll give a warning.
Yep.
That's
absolutely.
actually a good idea.
I'm really excited. So
I'm excited to see.
Tune in tomorrow. Subscribe to the PHNX Sports YouTube channel. Everybody here live in the chat or watching after the fact, we appreciate you. Give this video a like on your way out and be sure to like and subscribe. Follow wherever you get your podcasts as well. What's up?
He missed it.
I just realized that Fantilli is the missing link to our Italian line.
Fantilli.
Yeah.
Just saying.
The Italian
I love it. We just need to trade for Mangiapane.
Yeah, Mangiapane.
Fantilli.
I like it. The Italian line.
I love it.
I like
Perfect. That's amazing. All right. Well, everybody, we hope to see you again tomorrow. In the meantime, follow us on Twitter. Follow PHNX Sports on Twitter. Follow us at SPeters Hockey, at Craig S. Morgan, at Leah Barrel, at Sean_DePaz, at PHNX_Coyotes. Get some sleep, and we'll see everybody tomorrow. Have a good rest of your night, everybody.